A beautiful morning to you and welcome to the newspaper review right here at Prime Media TV. I'm Ayo, bringing you the news headline for today. And as always, I have quite a number of headlines to be reviewed with you today. APC sacks NDUME as Senate Chief Whip over complaints about TINUBU. Less than a week after Senator Ali NDUME, APC Borno South tongue-lashed President Bola Tinubu-led government, the National Working Committee (NWC) of the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) has written the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, asking for the immediate sack of NDUME as Senate Chief Whip. NDUME had accused President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration of running a solo government despite hunger across the land, just as he had alleged in an interview that Tinubu had been fenced off and caged by certain forces and expressed concerns over the lack of appreciable actions by Tinubu in tackling poverty, insecurity, and hunger in the land. And here we have it, that the Senate Chief Whip, an APC chieftain, has been sacked from the Senate. We would like to get the thought of our viewers on this, because as much as we are not 100% a fan of Senator Ali NDUME, it is also expedient that we look at the reason for this sack. Like, is this a viable reason enough? And as always, I have my co-host with me to analyze this segment together. Person of Nwachuku Treasure, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I would like to get your thoughts on this. Like I said earlier, as much as I am not a fan of Ali NDUME, and it is expedient that we look at the reason why this man was sacked. We took the story on this table last week, where he mentioned that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been caged in Aso Rock, that he's caged to the point that he is not getting the real complaints of Nigerians. And in retaliation to this, the NWC wrote to the Senate, and this man has been sacked. And this is not the first time that we will see people being sacked, especially people that are voicing for the people. They are sacked from their job. I want to hear your thoughts on this before we go to other part of the story.
Okay. Firstly, I want to say that we took a story here recently that the problem we are having in Nigeria government today is a problem of, if you cannot beat them, you have to join them. And I remember saying that not that we don't have good people in Nigeria policy, in Nigeria government, but we have more bad people than the good ones. And because of the action that usually, the punishment that usually come to those that try or dare to, to speak for the people, many of the good ones have been silenced. Their voice has been silenced, right? The fear of, just imagine a situation where somebody who raised an alarm about budget paddling was suspended, all right? So now, coming to Idume's speech, or what he meant, what he said by he's surrounded by bad people. We keep on seeing President Tinubu making appointment upon appointment. Now, under what condition are these people being appointed? What are the qualifications? All right, is it that these people are they being chosen by the people? Are they being appointed based on their capacity? Right, because nobody is qualified, to journey with you or to keep company with you if both of you are not going the same direction. All right. So if you have a vision, you need like-minded people to be able to actualize the vision. So if you are appointing people, if you are making leaders, it should be people you have seen, you have assessed to be capable of supporting you in achieving your desire for the people. And in his capacity as the president, if you have somebody who is not working, he has the right to caution the person. Now, Idume's sack for voicing, of course, we all know that the sack is as a result of the truth he uttered about Tinubu's government. Now the problem now is, or the question rather is, does it mean this administration are not for truth? That anybody, so long you are not singing their praise, you are their enemy. That is what we've been seeing playing out, and is the reason why we have even the lawmakers, we have the senators, even when they know that what is happening is affecting the people, but because they are not being affected, they are still singing the praise of Mr. President.
All right. Before we take this conversation further, I would like that, part of the main things that came to mind was what the Senate President Oshiomhole said at some point when he mentioned that when you come to APC, your sins are forgiven. So I would like that we quickly let's reference that video, then we come back to this conversation. Very quickly, let's have the video.
To take the broom to sweep away PDP and to continue to ensure that APC going to preside all over Nigeria. It includes my own brother, my friend, who comes from my own clan, Harry Duke Tenebe. He's the former organizing secretary of PDP. And we also have former vice chairman, PDP, and leader of Edo North of PDP. We also have my brother, Chief Esheshi Godwin. He's also former council chairman and my very dear friend. And we have quite a number of other leaders who have come. Tony Ilwobe. Ilwobe means I don't do bad. And if I want you have joined APC, all your sins are forgiven.
That was what Oshiomhole said, that when you join APC, all your sins are forgiven. And that is what we actually see playing out right now. That as long as you are not singing the praises of these leaders, like I said before, Ali NDUME has his fault too. Not majorly on what we are discussing. He was the one that said, when you steal in millions, when you steal in billions, you should not be considered a sinner. But when you steal in trillions, you should be held accountable. That was what he said before. But what we see happening here, I could remember in March 2024, Senator Abdul Ningi was suspended. Why was this 7 trillion budget padding on the 2024 budget? And he was suspended for 3 months. I'm not sure till dates if he has been reinstated. I'm not sure he's been reinstated now. And this is what we see happening. Even though a lot of people stood up to ask questions on them, even Mr. President himself did not react to that incident. And here we have Ali NDUME again. He has been suspended now and has been replaced.
Immediately.
Now, he has been replaced immediately from all of the position that is handling in the Senate. Now, let's move this conversation to what exactly this administration is in support of. I believe that when people are doing something wrong, you should be able to call them to order. So we see so far that we see people misbehaving in this administration, and what we see this administration supporting are the misbehaviors of the people from APC party. So I would like to hear your thoughts on the support of this administration. Who exactly are they supporting? The people or their own pockets?
They are supporting themselves. The APC government, this administration, that you see what Adams Oshiomhole said in that video is what we see playing out under the APC's government, whereby people have been looting, and all we hear is just a news flash, and nothing will be done to those people. Which means that so long you are APC member, you can be stealing, you can be looting. I don't know, there's a language they call it, embezzlement. All right. So we see that this administration is not out to fight crime. As a matter of fact, under this administration, a lot of people have, made away with, so much that if it were to be from opposition party, they would have been dealt with, right? And that is why you see this system now is one of the things that has eaten, is like a virus in Nigeria politics. That is why once maybe when 2027 election will come, you see people decamping. They want to decamp so that they can be under the umbrella of the ruling party, so that their sin will not be visited. So this administration, we have not seen in any way, in anywhere where they pick someone who has, misbehaved in power and handle the person according to the law to the end. Or we have people who has looted, who has embezzled public fund, and today imagine a situation where a criminal, somebody who has embezzled public fund is making a request for where his case will be decided on. So it's a problem. We see that under this administration, they are not for the truth. And that is why from the top to the bottom, we see lies. In all the budgets, in all the projects, we see lies. In everything they are doing, sometimes they come to tell us what is not existing. All right? Okay, now, look at what's happened. That is why they say what goes around comes around. Ali ADMNISTRATION now is feeling it. I don't know what happened that made him to sing against the person he has been singing for. All right, because there must be something that prompted him to make the statement that if he's still in billion, he shouldn't be considered evil. And under the same umbrella, you are coming out to say something nice. I don't know what was the picture he was trying to paint, because he has been in the system, he has been part of the system, and all of a sudden you want to come out and try to, maybe because of the protest that the Nigerian youth are prepared, and somebody is trying to come out and present himself as innocent. We know all this, we know what is happening, but the truth is, we have seen, and we have clearly seen that this administration is not out for the truth. And if you are in them, you cannot say if you are with them, you can't say the truth.
All right. So for Ali NDUME, I see hypocrisy playing out.
Hypocrisy.
Because if it is not hypocrisy, the administration you want to, and it is not the only person to be an hypocrite. It is just that this administration does not want to spell out the truth. I mean, look at Daniel Buhala. He was once the spokesperson for PDP. Now he is speaking in support of APC. Nobody is seeing him to caution him. Nobody is seeing him to, he has not been questioned for whatever.
Because of their numerous sin.
Just because he's in support of this administration. And another thing that I'm saying in the case of Ali NDUME is that what we are seeing playing out, I think I'm going to so much be in support of what Omoyele Sowore said on his X handle yesterday. He was saying that the reason why Nigerians would protest is he wrote out a 14-point agenda as part of the essence of the protest that is coming up in August. He said there should be a scrap of the 1999 Constitution. And the 1999 Constitution is talking about the right to life, right to freedom of speech, right to freedom of hearing. So what we see Ali NDUME facing now is a violation of his rights, of his constitutional rights, because the 1999 Constitution states that it states that everyone has the right to speak, right to free hearing. They can air their views without being questioned for it, right to opinion sharing and all of that. And we see that it is a violation of his right to share his opinion.
It's not sorry. You see, going on that way, if Ali NDUME wanted to stand for the truth, he should have stood for the truth from beginning. He has been part of this thing.
Even on this table, we have considered that when people are doing the wrong thing and they realize that they are doing the wrong thing and they are seeing the right track, over time we see that when people misbehave, and when people have been misbehaving for a very long time and they decide to do the right thing, we do not castigate them. We are not praising them for doing the right thing. We're always pointing at the many wrong things that they have done. The same way when we see people who have been doing the right thing for a very long time, the day they choose to do the wrong thing, we do not consider all of the right things that they have done. Yes, he has spoken, he has supported this administration before, but right now he is coming to terms to see what people are experiencing. is coming to terms to see that the people are in pain. And it was clear as at last week when the news, when he granted the interview and he mentioned that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been caged in Aso Rock. It is the truth, because never for once has President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration reacted to the hunger in the land. We see that their reaction is to distribute palliatives. Their reaction is to share some food that will last for only a few times. He is not addressing the real issue. He's not addressing it from the grassroots. And now that he has come out to say that, sir, you are not doing the right thing, I see that as an audacity. Because it takes a whole lot of courage for you to face somebody that you know that this person is way beyond you, and you are telling them that what you are doing is wrong. He pointed it out rightly.
What was he thinking? Under what constitution was that mindset of if you steal in billions, it should not be considered an error? Under what is that? Under a sane leadership mindset? Is that under the constitution of Nigeria that stealing of any amount should be considered a norm? See, the truth of the matter is this: if you want to, we understand the fact that he has been part of them, and the thing is, he got what he deserved, honestly. Because I want to believe that if he has not been part of them, he won't be appointed to that position in the first place. This administration will never appoint somebody who is not for them, who is not with them. It's a government of themselves, for themselves, by themselves. That is what is playing out under this administration. A government of the leaders, for the leaders, by the leaders. It is no longer involvement of the people. So you cannot all of a sudden come out and begin to with such audacity to come out and meanwhile he has skeletons in his cupboard. For him to have come out and say stealing in billions is not bad, it means he has looted in billions. All right, he was trying to shield himself. So the truth of the matter is, if you don't want to be part of them, don't be part of them. If you don't want to, before you come out to condemn somebody, be sure that nothing is traceable to you. That is what I have to say.
All right. So on this note, we see that back to back, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration has been, sweeping under the carpet those who has voiced out. We can, beyond this administration, we can see that playing out in politics. You can see politics playing out over time. We see that somebody came out for separation. He was arrested and is still in the detention of the DSS. Some journalists who came out to fight for a good cause, some activists who came out to fight for a good cause, they were arrested. We see that even in the security sectors, we see them misbehaving and they get away with it. We see that even the EFCC, who has been unable to apprehend people who loot in billions of naira, they've not been apprehended. But when you see a Yahoo boy or somebody who is just doing and just somewhere managing his life, those people will be arrested and they will be tagged Yahoo boys. So we see over time that justice is not justice
properly
is not carried out the way it ought to. And we see that all of the rights, all of the laws that we see in Nigeria, playing out in Nigeria, they've always been in favor of our leaders, and it is antagonistic to the people who are being led. So this is what we see playing out. As much as NDUME has said the right thing, it is still hypocritical to some extent that it is coming out to talk about it at a time like this. So he is not a saint. We have been able to clear that. NDUME himself is not a saint. But for the fact that he realized that something is wrong and he wants to get the support of the people to back him up, and it looked like this is so against him. So, and what we see playing out is that the result of this is that a lot of people who want to speak out in the Senate, a lot of people who want to speak out in the House of Rep, they will not be able to speak out. I mean, recently we took a story where the Minister for Women Affairs was being questioned for embezzling 1.5 billion naira, and the one who questioned her is currently facing a court trial. Why? Because the Minister for Women Affairs said she will show her, and indeed she showed her. The woman is currently facing a court trial. So the implication of this is that people, the truth, even in the Senate, in the House of Rep, amongst our governors, amongst our leaders, they will not be able to say it because they know that as soon as they say the truth, they will be shunned or they will be silenced. So on this note, we would like to take another story. where the governor of Borno State said he is withholding the people of Borno State from joining the protest. I'm still looking at the reason why he's doing that. But then, very quickly, let's look at the story. The Borno State Governor, Babagana Zulum, on Wednesday urged citizens to desist from protesting over hardship faced in the country. The governor said that the hike in the price of food and other commodities was temporary and assured that the government at all levels was working to ease the hardship. So I want to hear your quick thoughts on what he's saying. This is from Borno State, and the man that was recently sacked, the story we took earlier, is the man as well. Is a senator representing Borno State, and the person that represented him is also from Borno State, and it is making me to wonder, like, there's something fishy about these people from Borno State. But let me hear your thoughts on this.
Nigeria, where are we going? It wasn't only yesterday or some time ago. Yesterday, I think we took a story also of a similar case from I think Ebonyi State, Imo State governor, who said, Hope Uzodinma, who said that the Southeast people will not be part of the protest. Now, for this man to come out and say that the hardship in the land is temporary, how temporary is it? It's temporary because they are not being affected. It's temporary because some of them, their children are abroad schooling. Their children, they go outside for medication. It's temporary because they receive hardship allowance. It is temporary because they are not being affected at all. So how long do they want this thing to go before it becomes a problem? The Nigerian citizens are the ones facing it. Do you know what it is to start for a day? Do you know what it is to start for a month? Do you know what it is not for you to be working and what you are earning is not able to take care of you as a family man? And somebody for more than a year now under this administration, things has gone from bad to worst. And somebody is coming out to say that it's temporary. In a state where we've been experiencing bombing, insecurity of all manners, and somebody is coming out to say it's temporary, where we can no longer produce. Food production companies are leaving the country. Factories, businesses are shutting down. And somebody is coming out to say, on what ground is a speech centered on? The truth of the matter is that we have people who are not, of course, from all the stories we'll be taking, we understand that this administration, they are shielding themselves, even when they know that they are doing the wrong thing. But on the protest matter, I want to say that it is everybody is entitled to their opinion. He, as the governor, he cannot say he has controls such power over the people to prevent individuals who have made up their mind to be part of the protest. This protest is not a political engineered protest. Maybe an opposition party engineered it. It's not a protest that was influenced or engineered by an individual who hates the government. This is a protest that is coming from collective mind. This is a protest that is based on the situation on ground, which is obvious. So I don't think anybody, whether a governor, chairman, or anybody, even the president, can stop the people, because this thing is long overdue. This thing is a reality. It's not as if maybe people are trying to fake it. The hardship is a reality. Everything, the policies affecting the people is a reality. So there is nothing anybody, they are just trying to, should I say, out of fear, as a result of what they saw played out in Kenya. They are trying to discourage the people and, like I said, infuse fear in the people. But the truth is, Nigerians' minds are made up, because something needs to happen for something to stop. And this protest will need to happen for some of these things to come to an end in Nigeria government.
All right. On a final note, the people will do what they decide to do, regardless of whether they are cautioned or they are not. Everybody has the right to express themselves, and constitutionally, protest is not a thing that should be shunned. So whether or not the Borno State governor, Zulum, is saying that the people should go out or not. The people understood their own pains, even if their leaders could not feel their pains. And for the sake of what they are experiencing and could no longer bear anymore, they will decide if they want to join the protest or not. On this note, we'll be moving on to another story. But before we go into that, we'll go on a quick break. And as soon as we get back, we'll dive into another conversation. Please stay with us.